Or by David Banks, David Stevenson, and I, Amar Leon, we decided to do setting up a remote access VPN. And the protocols that we used were the Layer 2 tunneling protocol and the Internet Protocol Security and Encryption.
Thanks, Amara. So the multi-factor authentication is a way to strengthen security because you need more than just a username and password. Maybe you also need a shared key or something like that. Different types of authentication would be, of course, username and password, swiping a card with inserting a PIN number, digital certificates, scanning fingerprints or other biometrics, USB hardware token that could generate keys. I worked at a defense contractor where we had, of course, username, password. We also had a smart card with a chip on it that held digital certificates, and we had to use a PIN to access that card. We also had a hardware token that would generate unique keys for each session. So they were a little strict about their security, as you might expect from a defense contractor. But multi-factor authentication is something that good VPN solutions will support, and we recommend those for added security. Okay, David.
Thanks, Dave and Mara. I'll be doing a presentation on how to set up a VPN using a Windows 7 machine. So I'm going to come over to my VM here. And as you can see, I have a couple set up. This one is my work. This is another test one that's set up earlier, just as a run through when we were going through earlier. So you're going to come over here to the Network and Sharing Center. You can also get there through the control panel, take you to the same place. I prefer doing classic version of control panel, but nonetheless we'll take you to the same place. Network and Sharing Center. And then next you will set up a new connection to a network, and you'll want to select connect to a workplace. As you can see, it says right there VPN connection. So we're going to hit next. I want to create a new connection. I don't want to copy an existing one. I want to use my internet. And in this case, some companies will give you a host name to use that's generally more secure because then they're not giving you access to their public IP. But in this case, we're going to use an IP just for testing purposes. So we'll do 10.2.2 out of the VPN server. We'll leave that name the same. Right now, I'm not going to connect because there's some more configuration changes I need to make before that can happen. So I'll hit Don't Connect just now and hit Next. That'll take me to the username and password. I'll type in my username and my password. We'll just make 123. Ideally, you'd want to make that much more secure than that. Generally, there's stipulations put on by the VPN server as to how many characters they can be. I believe my work VPN server right now is 16 characters minimum, and I believe it requires at least a capital letter and a some kind of symbol. So the symbols would be anything like a pound sign or an @ sign or a $sign, anything that's out of the ordinary, just because it makes it more difficult to crack and it's a better encryption. So we'll hit Create. So that'll actually create the connection. I still don't want to connect now because I need to make some more configuration changes first. So I come down here where my VPN connections are listed. This is the one that we just set up. So we right click and go to Properties, and we'll come over to Security, and for type of VPN we'll want to set up an L2TP, which we discussed earlier, /IPsec, and we also need a pre-shared key. So to do that in a Windows 7 machine, you'll click on Advanced Settings, use pre-shared key, and we'll type in key for that for testing purposes, hit OK, and down here, as you can see, there's the CHAP. That's the username and password you'll use when you actually click on Connect. So we'll hit OK because everything's configured now. And we'd go over to our VPN2 connection, hit Connect. We type in our password, which I think I did that too. If you want to save those credentials to your machine, just for future reference, and then you would hit Connect. And as soon as you hit Connect, that would give you I'll give you a message right here saying it's connecting to this IP address or host name using L2TP. And once you're connected, you should have access to the LAN that you are trying to connect to. So in this case, for testing purposes, I didn't connect all the way, but if I was connecting to my work network, I'd be able to get to my work servers and everything behind the firewall that I have at work. So that's all that we have for our presentation. Thanks for joining us. See you guys next time we do another presentation. This is CIT 370. I'm David Banks.
And Dave Stevenson.
And Mara.
And
Thanks for
Mara.
joining us.